Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss Hegel and his ideology of work. With that, I'll turn the subject to my grandson Tristan. Go ahead, Tristan.
All right, thank you. So as was previously stated, we're going to be covering Hegel's ideas about work and what work is and how it applies to reality and philosophy. So essentially, first I got to define what work means. Work in the Hegelian sense just means like action or doing something. So with that definition, we can, find out what work means. And work would essentially be distinguished from action. Now, action in the Hegelian sense is the intent to do something. So essentially, action in the Hegelian sense is the intention to do something that exists only within the mind. So like, let's say you want to do something, you want to work, but you haven't actually done it yet. That would be action in the Hegelian sense. And if that action never gets translated into the real world, into reality, and it just stays an intention, then Hegel would call that pure action. So, it's constrained purely to the mind. So essentially, work can be, pretty easily characterized as action when it's brought into reality or in the real world. Now, Hegel thought that work is what defines a person and gives them their worth. Because, like, let's say you want to do something, or you're intending to work, or you have like action in your mind. You have an intention to work, but you don't actually do it. You're not actually adding anything to your consciousness or adding anything to your person, or, actually achieving anything. You're just thinking about achieving something, or you're thinking that you want to achieve something, but you're not actually doing it. So in Hegel's mind, work, which is, action translated into reality, is the only way to have really any self-worth at all, or have any achievement or satisfaction with yourself, because within work, you're actually doing something.
Fulfill the meaning of work.
Yeah,
is
essentially.
to physically get involved in.
Yeah, it's to physically get involved in something in reality rather than just thinking about it in terms of action.
Or mentally, yes.
Yeah. Now, this kind of implies something kind of interesting, because Hegel, he kind of found a contradiction with work. So essentially, as we've discussed earlier, work stems from action, which is just, intention to do work. So work originally stems from the mind, from consciousness, but gets translated into empirical reality. But within reality, you still have a notion of action. You still have a notion of what you wanted to do in your mind, because, you can't understand what you want to do in work, you can't understand what you want to do in reality if you don't already have an understanding of what you want to do in your mind, right? So essentially, work consists of two components: the conscious, or spiritual, or the mind aspect of it, and then there's also the physical or the real aspect of work. Now, since mind and reality are kind of contradictory to each other, they're two opposite things, Hegel thought that a contradiction arises within work. And this contradiction would essentially lead to the destruction of the concept of work. But there's also another interesting thing that Hegel pointed out with this destruction of work. Essentially, what Hegel pointed out is, he said, okay, well, since this destruction is technically work doing something, work even finds satisfaction in its own undoing or its own destruction, because in order for it to be destroyed, something has to be done, and work has to be committed in reality. So essentially, even though work is being destroyed, work is being fulfilled simultaneously. So that's kind of interesting to me, and
that will wrap it up.
Yeah, that's gonna wrap up the subject as a whole.
For you that been listening to Hegel all the time and doesn't know who he is, he was one genius philosopher out of Germany in the early 1800s. Just to point this, I pointed this one several times in previous videos, but to bring it up for the new followers or new attendees. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.